This is Silent Whispers, a place where words fall softly, yet echo deeply. Join us, subscribe, and experience stories that speak to the heart and soul. Eleanor stood before her grandmother's cottage, a crooked silhouette against the mist of Blackwood Hollow. The house seemed frozen in time, its stained glass windows dull with dust, wooden beams sagging, and the porch groaning under her steps. Inside, the air smelled of old wood and forgotten winters. Every floorboard creaked beneath her boots, echoing like whispers. At first, it felt quaint until the night settled, and the house began to breathe. In her bedroom, as the fire shrank to glowing embers, Eleanor heard it. Not the scurrying of mice, not the settling of wood, but a slow dragging sound beneath the floor, like cloth over stone. Then came a faint thump. Her pulse quickened, and in the stillness, she heard her name hissed up through the cracks. Eleanor, the sound rose from directly under her bed. She dared not move. Her breath caught in her throat. The house was whispering. By morning, exhaustion had carved dark circles beneath her eyes. Determined to prove herself wrong, Eleanor ripped back a corner of the carpet in the sitting room. Beneath lay warped wood, darkly stained. Her fingers traced a square outline. With trembling hands, she pried it open. The hinges shrieked, dust falling like ash. A rancid stench burst forth. Below, a ladder sank into a hollow blackness. Her grandmother had never spoken of a cellar, and yet, here it was. Eleanor climbed down, each rung groaning beneath her weight. The chamber was carved of ancient stone, colder than a grave. The walls bore handprints smeared in soot, tiny childlike ones beside grotesque, elongated marks. Bones littered the floor, brittle and gnawed. At the chamber's center gaped a crack in the stone, wider than a fist, blacker than night. From it pulsed a steady breath of icy wind. She leaned closer, and dozens of eyes blinked open from the darkness. The whispers swelled, no longer hushed, but many voices at once, clawing into her skull. We were buried here. We were sealed. But the house remembers. The crack widened. Black shapes seeped out, limbs like smoke, hands sharp as bone. They slithered across the stone, dragging darkness with them. Eleanor screamed, scrambling up the ladder, the shadows snapping at her heels. She slammed the hatch shut and shoved a heavy chair across it. Beneath, the things shrieked and pounded. Eleanor fled to the village, desperation in her eyes. At the tavern, her trembling voice spilled the secret cellar. The old men fell silent. One leaned close, whispering, "Your grandmother kept the pact. The house was built to keep them down. Never disturb the floor. Never open the hatch." Eleanor's throat tightened. "And now that I have." The man shook his head, staring into his ale. "You can shut what's already awake." When she returned, her blood froze. The chair she had wedged atop the hatch was gone. The cellar door stood wide open, breathing darkness. The silence inside was alive, heavy, listening. Boards bulged upward, as though something pushed from beneath, eager to burst free. Shadows slid across the floor, stretching toward her like hands. Eleanor turned to run, but the floor split, spilling blackness across the room. Dozens of voices hissed as the shadows swallowed her whole. "Now, you are one of us.